projector. And just in case, oh, it's gone. You know, all that buzz that you were hearing in the speakers, it's all the buzz about the new smoke. Let me tell you a bit about the new smoke. So Evan was here a little while ago, and the idea was for Evan to talk about changes in technology, changes in your workflow, and how that affects everything in your editorial work. So one of the things we really wanted to do with smoke is make it more accessible. So how many of you guys have seen a smoke demo before? All right, one thing I can reassure you, it doesn't look like it was made in DOS anymore. All right? So I don't know about you, but I'm actually the Final Cut Pro user, the Avid user, the After Effects user, a guy like you guys who works at Autodesk, and wanted to make sure that what we're showing tonight, what we've been showing for the last couple of days, we're really proud of, because we have managed to make smoke a lot more accessible and a lot more affordable. So let me start by saying that the new price for smoke is $34.95. And this is what it looks like. This is the new smoke. Let me go to my start here. So I'd like to thank Evan Shackman. Radical Media has been a great supporter of smoke, and also an early adopter of technologies. Evan started using Final Cut Pro professionally at version 1 when he started Outpost Digital. So we felt a kindred spirit in Evan. And basically he handed us off this project that was edited. The last bits of editing were done in Final Cut Pro 10, and we are showing it now in smoke because it was finished in smoke. So it's a Grey Goose commercial. So let me just show you a bit about the interface. So quickly you'll see that it is very familiar. We've got a track-based interface. It's all very modern. You've got your media browser on the left here, where you can have folders. Folders and sequences behave just like you think they should, because they do. You've got right-click menus now on everything. You actually have a menu bar. All right, menu bars with hotkey editors and preferences, everything that you'd expect in software like this. So basically, if you've worked with Final Cut Pro, if you've worked with Media Composer, if you've worked with Adobe Premiere, you already know how to use smoke. That's the most important aspect of this. It even comes with Final Cut Pro 7 hotkey presets. So if you want to jump right in, you can actually start editing in 10 minutes. It is compatible with everything you're already using. So for example, this project was brought in from Final Cut Pro 10 by the power and the magic of XML. And I start with the Media Hub. This is a new browser. This is actually a new way to import media inside the smoke, like Final Cut Pro projects, like Avid projects. You can bring in an AAF sequence, you can bring in an XML file from both flavors of Final Cut, and the corresponding media, which is exactly what happened here. So for example, I can go ahead and browse in my volumes, and basically I can even look at, let's go into our upload footage over here, and you've got our 3D files of Golfer or McIntyre from the spot of our friends at Oakley. And basically all of these are our 3D files. I can go ahead and double click and browse this media. I can select in and out points. I can do all of this right inside this interface. Look over here on the bottom of this little player. You've got clip information. You've got metadata, everything that you need to know about your work. 13:1 compression, in this case, this was shot with an Epic X, steering sensor. So all of this information is available in the Media Hub. Look down here, format specific options. I can go ahead and change any of this metadata. So if you got QuickTime files you want to check out and you want to select another timecode track, or in this case, I can go ahead and select another debayering setting. This is things that you can do right here in the Media Hub. It's just a question of dragging and dropping into your sources, like this. It's as simple as that. In the case of our ad over here, what we did was bring in the XML directly from Final Cut Pro 10. And one thing we haven't done is show you the commercial. So I'm going to do so now. There's audio on this, by the way. Now you can see that I intentionally left some shots that weren't finished so that we could actually work on those. So let's go ahead and start working. Alright, I'm directly in my timeline, and basically Smoke was designed to do not only editorial work, but obviously visual effects. We've got a 20-year legacy of visual effects mastering software, and we're leveraging all of this technology and this knowledge inside of Smoke. The beauty of the new Smoke 2013, we wanted to make it as accessible as possible, so doing any kind of visual effects is just a click away. Like for example, over here I've got this shot, I've got a finished shot over here. I'm basically going to do some very, very simple color correction. Well, for me at least, it might seem a little more elaborate for anybody else, or in some other software, but basically I can do all sorts of things such as turning this whole shot black and white except for the red. Applying effects in Smoke is as simple as right-clicking and adding an effect. You get this little box that says basically these are your basic effects. This is what I like to call my mini bar. It's your necessary ordnance. You know, you've got your time warp and your resize, text tools, and color correction live in there, and the axis, which is our super tool. I'll be using it a little later. So let's go ahead and add a color correction tool. Basically, you add a color corrector, you get this effects pipeline that appears right in your timeline. You don't even have to go into a module or into another window. I can actually start doing very precise color correction right here in the timeline. And this behaves just like you'd expect. I've got this little filter here. I can go ahead and apply it on any other segment. I can copy and paste color effects very, very simply. So let's do something a little more elaborate. I'm going to switch over to the more powerful color warper tool that we have. Let's go into the editor real quick. This is what I love about this effect. It's fully transparent. You're working with this fully transparent interface. I can go ahead and do some basic color correction over here, and the interface disappears. You know, all of your controls disappear to let you do all of your color correction simply. So what I really want to do is knock out all the color and just keep the red over here in the drapes. So I can do that very simply by going into selection mode. Image turns black and white. This is totally normal. The interface is asking me to pick a color, which I'm going to do so like this.
Yeah.
There you go. So all I did was draw on the color that I wanted. So the master keyer works this way, the color corrector works this way. It's very tactile, it's very organic, it's very fast. So you notice I've got a little red over here, and basically if I look at my diamond keyer, I can see the color that I selected, and all of this is a softness around it. So if I go ahead and select this guy's ear over here, right, let's pick a good spot, right there. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on my diamond keyer, and you see the little black spot there? This is a color that I have. So I want this region to not take this guy's ear. Oop. All right, there you go. So then I can go ahead and look at the result, basically say, well, invert this and drag the saturation down to 0, and there you go. It's as simple as that. So I exit out, and it's back in the timeline. All the effects live right inside the timeline. I can go ahead and select this and copy it and paste it elsewhere.